But you know, I feel like, you know, Elvira, she went off the air in the 80s. Joe Bob Briggs is in rehab or something, and so, you know, I think the time is right for another horror movie host. It's too bad that there's no television station in Sacramento right now brave enough to show anything but infomercials in the middle of the night. But
now, what's the deal with that? I mean, you started out in Sacramento, and Channel 10 gave you a run for a while.
I was on News 10 at 3:05 in the morning, actually. Yes, 3:05 is especially treacherous because, you know, 3 o'clock is that time where you're going to bed or you're staying up all damn night. It's that moment you make that decision. 3:05, you've already made that decision. But we were on at 3:05 at News 10. They had a movie that ran 20 minutes short. And I had done some revival shows with Bob Wilkins in Creature Features, and Bob Wilkins, who passed away earlier this year from
rest his soul,
complications with Alzheimer's, he encouraged me. He said, you know, you should get out in a chair and do this sort of thing. I don't know why the chair is so important. You know? I said, well, Bob, you know, people don't do this sort of thing anymore. That's like saying, hey, well, you should take up blacksmithing. That would be great. Why don't you do that? But I worked at a television station, and they had a movie at 3:05 that ran 20 minutes short. And they didn't have people paying for commercial time. So it was like 6.5-minute commercial breaks filled with nothing but PSAs telling you to, like, walk your bicycle across the street and stuff like that, and promos for the news. So, you know, 6.5-minute breaks full of promos and PSAs is just murder. So I just said, look, I can help you fill that time. They didn't care, basically. I did it for 2 years. I kind of got hooked on it. We started getting some mail, and then I started producing the show myself and distributing it. We originally got picked up in Norfolk, Virginia. And then we got picked up in Monroe, Louisiana.
Those are hot spots.
Wow. Oh yeah, yeah. Parts of Arkansas. Basically anywhere where teeth and shoes are scarce.
Demographic?
Yes, that was the demographic, because apparently crackers like cheese. So
that also played well in Oak Park.
Yeah. That plays much better in Oak Park. We have so, you know, we show a feature film, but we also show which will be like The Brain That Wouldn't Die, or The Brain That Wouldn't Die from Outer Space, or Beneath the Planet of the Sun of the Brain That Wouldn't Die, or, you know, those are the kinds of movies we show. And we also show drive-in snack bar ads, and I interview celebrities, well, celebrities to my people, like Bruce Campbell and Sid Haig and Elvira and those types of people, where you go to the grocery store and say, hey, I interviewed Bruce Campbell, and they go, who? So, but you know, if you got a pocket protector, they're big celebrities, and I interview them on the show.
All right, pocket protector crowd. All right.
Always gets applause.
Excellent.
Yeah. I guess that's yeah. So that's a little bit about Cinema Insomnia. We're in 25 cities now. We were on in this San Francisco Bay Area for a heartbeat there for 3 years. And we're still doing it. I'm recently cast as Criswell in the remake of Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Excellent.
Wow.
Who's remaking that?
It's made by a guy named Johnny Johnson, who sounds like he should be making porn. He made a lot. He's made eight feature films in 2 years, I think. You know, the guy is basically, he makes a lot of direct-to-video, sci-fi, direct-to-video genre stuff. This is his first film where it's shot on 35mm. He's got a real budget. You know, it's like, which is a real budget for a Plan 9 remake is like 1.8 million, which is micro budget. But yeah, it's interesting because he calls me up and he says he's a horror host fan. He says, I want you to play Criswell. I said, I don't think I can be Criswell. Criswell was a real guy with a historical life. He was also like an albino gay guy. I don't know if I could really be convincingly an albino gay guy.
You can be whatever you want, Mr.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm here. I'm fear. I'm a horror host. No, I said, you know, Criswell was a real guy with a TV show, and I'm a real guy with a TV show. So I can be that guy. And so we're starting shooting in April, and I get to deliver the Greetings, my friends. We are all interested in the future because that is where you and I will be spending the rest of our lives. And future events such as these will affect you in the future. So, I get to do that.
Well, I don't know if they need a sassy African-American neighbor to pop up.
I think that would be awesome. Like right next door to the Trents, you know, it's like, you know, you poke his head over the fence and, what's going on in the graveyard? Yeah.
I wouldn't give it quite that.
All right. Well,
I have my own twist on it, but yeah.
That was just one actor's interpretation. You know?
Yeah. I understand that you're in a little hot water these days.
Well, you know, one of the perils of being a cult success being defined as fame without fortune, is I'm now on the scandal sheets. I was on TMZ. How many people watch TMZ? I hosted the Sacramento, which TMZ means, what is it, 30 mile zone. Yeah, could you explain that for me, Matt?
30 mile zone, it's the area around Hollywood that is like anyone should care about. Anything outside the 30 mile zone, who gives a rat's ass?
Okay, all right. Well, they have a show called TMZ, which is like, you know, skanky entertainment tonight.
Welcome.
That's how I would define that. Basically, I was hosting the Sacramento Horror Film Festival, which I do every year, and we showed a film called Albino Farm. I guess albino is the theme tonight, but it's a secret word. The secret word is albino.
But Albino Farm?
Albino Farm was the movie we were playing on Friday night, and Chris Jericho, wrestler Chris Jericho, who's a huge superstar. I guess he's like the Roddy Piper of today.
Oh, okay.
That's how I interpret him.
Okay, yeah.
You know, basically it's sort of, you know, he was there, he was drinking a little bit. We did a zombie beauty contest. He like stops the contest and he's like, where's that one girl with the sweet ass? And blah, blah. It's like, this is a contest. You know, you don't get to decide who gets to be in it. So he was a little drunk. I was interviewing him after the movie, and I'm trying to get questions from the audience and keep things under control. He's got a drink in one hand and he starts calling me Haji.
Haji?
Yes.
Sim sim salabim.
Yes. And
Haji.
Haji, yes. And you know, I'm thinking since he's from Canada, I was probably the first brown person that he actually stood next to. And so he's got the mental RoboCop Rolodex trying to build a brown person to reference turban. And then the only thing he could pull out was Haji. So I tried to like play this off. I took his drink from him and sniffed it, and then he says, "It's apple juice, fag."
I can't believe that.
Yeah. So, you know,
Hey, Haji.
I try to keep things, you know, because I am America's favorite gay Muslim horror host. Tonight, the Thing from the Cave, starring Osama bin Laden. So anyway, you know, and this takes me back to like high school with the guy who pushed you into the lockers and urinate in your desk and all that kind of stuff. And you know, I'm an indoor kid, you know.
That goes without saying.
I know the drill, you know. These glasses aren't props, okay?